Okay, let's make some money. In this simple demonstration, I will show you how I earned $593 in less than an hour. The system is easy to use, it only has 3 short steps, and it will help you profit several hundreds of dollars on a daily basis. I will now show you the exact method in which I used, and you too will be able to do the same. So what is this method exactly, and how does it work? It is a trading system based on binary options. Binary options are very simple to understand and use because all it requires is one decision, whether an asset will go up or down. Once you choose one of the 2 options, the trade can begin. It is a fast trade between 5 to 30 minutes. And once the time is up, your position will automatically close. And if your choice was right, you will profit between 170% to 190%. So how will you know if to choose up or down? We're going to use a very simple method that is used by the professional traders called graphic trends analysis. As there is a higher probability for a financial asset to continue its current direction rather than to reverse it, we can analyze the graphs and recognize its trend. There are 3 main types of trends: an uptrend, a declining trend, and a neutral trend. And now I will demonstrate how you will use these trends to earn money. I will now log in to my Binary Broker account and show you exactly, step by step, how it's done. Obviously, you have to create a new account for yourself to use. The system will work on any of the Binary Broker's recommended sites at the bottom of the site. As you can see, I have $14,079.03 on this account. When I opened it 2 months ago, it had only $500 in it. Now let's see how the system that has made this growth really works. In the binary platform, you have many assets to choose from: stocks, currencies, indices, and commodities. Once you've chosen your asset, you need to choose its direction. The direction can either be up or down. Notice the timer as the trade lasts between 5 to 30 minutes. So now I will perform trades according to the method of trends monitoring, and you'll be able to see how I make money with binary options. In the site, on the first step under the video, there is a link. To recognize trends, use the real-time graphics available here. Once you click on it, a new page opens with the assets graphs. The page can take up to 1.5 minutes to load because it contains all of the graphs that you will need. So now we will identify trends in these graphs in order to trade in the binary platform. So right now we're going to start with the currencies. We have here our first currency, the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. And as you can clearly see, its trend line is very positive and clear. We can see that it's going from this point all the way up here. So you can identify this as an upwards going trend line. Since we have our analysis, we go back to the platform. We choose the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. We choose our expiration hour. I'm going to click 10. Since it's going up, we click up. Enter $100. Click apply. And approve the option. Once you see the trade confirmation, you're good to go. We go back to the graphs and continue to the euro versus the Japanese yen. This graph as well is going from this point all the way up here. It's a positive upwards going trend line. So we go back to the platform. We look for the euro versus the Japanese yen right here. We choose our expiration hour, 10. We click up since the trend line is going up. We enter $100, apply, and approve. We see the confirmation and exit. We go back to the graphs, and we have here the GBP versus the Japanese yen. This graph as well is going from this point all the way up here. It has its ups and downs, but it's an upwards going trend line. We go back to the platform, choose the GBP versus the Japanese yen, right here. Since it's going up, we click up, enter $100, click apply, approve, and we wait for the confirmation. Voila, exit and go back to the graphs. We continue on to the AUD versus the Japanese yen. This as well is a beautiful upwards going trend line going from this point all the way up here. It has its eye point here, but it's okay. It's clarified as an upwards going trend. We go back to the platform, choose the AUD versus the Japanese yen right here. Since it's going up, we click up, enter $100, and apply. We approve the option and exit. We go back to the graphs, and right here we have a downwards going trend line. Needless to say that from a downwards going trend line we can make money the same as from an upwards going trend line. It makes no real difference to us, and I will now show you how. You can see here that the oil is a downwards going trend line. It starts from this point. It has its high point right here, but it starts to go down and down and down and down, even lower than the starting point. So we go back to the platform, we choose the oil from our commodities section right here, we choose our expiration hour 10. Since it's going down, we're gonna want to click down, enter $100, click apply, and approve. Just like the upwards going trend, it's the same thing. We go back to the graphs, we have another downwards going trend. We can see here the silver. It starts from this point and it goes down and down and down, much like the oil down here. So we go back to the platform. From our commodities we choose the silver. Since it's going down, we click down, enter $100, click apply, and approve our option. See the confirmation and go back to the graphs. We continue on to the euro versus the CHF, and as you can see we have a neutral trend line. It's a mixed one with no clarification of what it could be or what it is. So since it's not a very good trend line, I'm gonna want to stay away from this one. I'll avoid it and I'll keep going on to others that are more clear, like the CHF versus the Japanese yen. It's a very beautiful clear trend line starting from this point going all the way up here, so it's a positive upwards going trend. We go back to the platform and look for the CHF versus the Japanese yen under the currencies, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe we do not have that currency in this platform. So apparently I don't have the option to trade on this platform, but it's okay. Since I don't have that option, now it would be a good time to remind you that it's important to have an account at 2 or 3 binary brokers. So if a certain asset is missing from one, you will have it on the other. That way you'll maximize your profits by trading simultaneously on several brokers. So we go back to the platform, and by now we have 6 open positions. So I'm going to put one more position in there, which would be the stocks. I will now show you how to choose stocks, search from the list, and identify its graphs. We have here the stock section of the site, and we can see here the Apple stock. As you can see, it's not a very good trend line, so I'm going to want to stay away from this one. I'm going to search for a stock that I already know that has a good trend line, but you will have to look for it. I'm gonna enter Vodafone right here. As you can see, it already suggests the stock. I'm gonna click it, and as soon as I click it, I can see the trend line. It's a beautiful downwards going trend starting from this point going all the way down here. So basically it's the same as using the currencies and commodities sections. It's very easy. We go back to the platform, we choose the Vodafone stock from our stock section, right here. We choose our hour. Since it's going down, we click down, enter $100 and apply. Approve the option and exit the confirmation. So by now I have currently opened 7 positions following the significant trends showed by the graphs. Right here we have all of the open positions, and we see here that the expiration hour of those options is 10 o'clock. I'm going to speed up the process of the video. We don't have to wait all that time. So once the expiration hour will come, I will show you how much we've lost and won. So now, in order for me to speed up the time of the video, I will now scroll up in order for you to see the clock running, and I will speed up the video in about 3.5 minutes up until 3 seconds before the options expiration hour, and you can see how much we've won and lost. So right now our options are going to expire in about 3 seconds, as you can see here, and I am about to scroll down to the expired positions below. By now all of our positions have expired and can now be viewed in the expired positions section of the table, which you can see right here below. In total, we won 6 positions out of the available 7 and lost only 1, which is the GBP versus the Japanese yen. It is very important to remind you that it is perfectly normal to lose on some positions, and no trader in the world can only gain. The purpose of this method is to win with the majority of the positions. So from these 6 wins, I have earned in total $593 in less than an hour. Please remember, in order to guarantee a successful trading session, make sure you implement the system only in the Binary Broker's recommended sites at the bottom of the site.